So Director Larkin, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right, with that, I'll call to order the Department of Transportation Board of Directors meeting scheduled for today, September 8th, 2025 at 9:30 a.m. And we will start with the agenda item number 1, a roll call.
Yes. Good morning, Governor Joe Lombardo.
Here.
Lieutenant Governor Stavros Anthony.
Here.
Controller Andy Matthews.
Here.
Member Virginia Valentine.
Here.
Member Frank Lepre. Member Justin Kalb.
Here.
Member Gary Perea.
Here.
Governor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Move on to agenda item number 2, the first opportunity for public comment. Public comment may be provided in person or by calling 775-888-7440. The call will be placed in a queue and the caller will be notified of their turn to comment. The first public comment is limited to comments on items on the agenda. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under public comment period unless the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. And I will impose a 3-minute time limit. Do we have any public comment there in Carson City?
No, sir.
Do we have any public comment here in Las Vegas?
There to be none at this time.
Nobody online or on the phone?
No.
Okay. We'll close public comment and move to agenda item number 3 and receive the director's report, which is an informational only item.
Thank you. First, I'd like to announce the appointment of Gordon Goonsby as our new Deputy Attorney General. Lori Story has retired, but Gordon, sitting here to my right, is now stepping in to take over. So now moving on to traffic safety, next slide. I'd like to point out, as we like to do quarterly, is that we have reduced fatal crashes statewide by more than 8%. Unrestrained fatalities are down by 5%, and pedestrian fatalities have also decreased by more than 13%. However, cyclist and motorcycle crashes have increased from the same time last year by 28% for bicyclists and 15% for cyclists. This data is provided by the Department of Public Safety, and like I said, we do share it on a quarterly basis to kind of monitor. We have seen a rash in the last few weeks of several pedestrian fatalities across northern Nevada and southern Nevada, but again, we continuously work to see what we can do to help mitigate those. On our next slide, I'd like to, on August 11th, the White Pine Main Street Business Association presented NDOT and the contractor, Road and Highway Builders, with thank you plaques. I really wanted to highlight this because it's kind of unusual. The recognition is for exemplary professionalism, community outreach as crews reconstruct US 50 through downtown Ely. NDOT and contractor construction crews are updating and working closely with the area businesses to keep access open to all businesses and reduce the impact during construction. So kudos to the crews. They're doing a great job. On I-80, we're conducting preliminary geotechnical soil surveys in advance of the I-80 widening between Vista Boulevard and USA Parkway. Drivers will see overnight single-lane reductions on Interstate 80 east of Sparks through December for this work. The future widening requires extensive geotechnical engineering due to the steep slopes and rock formations, and these will, of course, provide data on soil and rock features to help finalize the engineering designs for the interstate widening. During the same week, the week of September 7th, 5 of our highway maintenance crews are joining together during the nighttime, during the same road closure there to remove roadside litter in the area. It's a very difficult place to get in due to the amount of traffic on there, but it's also a place where, because of the waste facility out by Mustang, there's a lot of trash that gets blown out from poorly covered loads going out there. But anyway, and then the last thing just to report is the RFP to obtain a contractor consultant team for the progressive design build is out and will be announced about the first of the year. And then the next 3 slides, I'll go through them quickly, but will you go ahead and play that, please? We have just kicked off a meeting with Utah, Arizona, and California to look at how we can smooth operations across, basically emergency operations across multi-jurisdictions. So we're bringing in the Department of Emergency Management, the DOTs, and the traffic operations centers in these 4 states, along with law enforcement. And we've begun to talk about what can we do to strategically place resources, increase our communication to make sure it is seamless and we know who to call and when to call them. And then also just what do we need to lay the foundations to expand this? It's been going on a long time, but there's always ways we can make it better. And I tell you that collaboration is key. Next slide, please. One of the things I'd really like to highlight is this happened last week, September 3rd through 5th. It really took us about a year to put it all together. Very successful. It went really, really well. That video you just saw there is not from NevadaDOT, but it's actually from ASHTO, which is our national organization, because there are a lot of states watching to see what we're doing along the corridor. This particular emergency operations planning was focused on the I-15 and the I-11 in southern Nevada and the impacts on the surrounding roads. So if we have to do detours or on there, you can see on the side the jurisdictions that were involved. And what really made it successful, there was a lot of really good decision makings there. And all of the operations was either executive or senior leadership, people who can go back and actually make decisions to incorporate some of the improvements and the changes that we made. You'll be hearing more in the next few meetings, and we'll have a report out on some of the actual action items that we have moving forward. And we've already planned, my executive assistant is putting out a survey this week. We have a report, we have a status report just in 3 months, just to kind of say if, are you on track for the action items that we said we would do? And do you need any help? And in 6 months, we'll have a report out on what improvements we have been able to make and what we plan on making. So we did put them a lot in short-term, medium-term, and long-term things that'll take longer to put in. But I was very pleased, and I want to give a lot of kudos out to my fellow agencies. Brett Compston was my co-host, the Department of Emergency Management. George Tagliati's team had a number of NHP there working with their counterparts, but what I'm really so pleased is I really thought Nevada stepped up and showed some true leadership in all of those categories, and they were all actively engaged. So a thank you to all of them. And then the next slide. As is you.
Much easier game than Where's Waldo.
Sorry, is there a question?
No,
Are they making fun of me?
no. We're making fun of Mario.
Oh, the orange hat, yes, it really stood up. But you know what? It was a hot commodity. We gave away about 6 or 7 of those. People were begging for them, literally. This slide I just want to point out is it's always, as it comes around, and it's fairly unusual for us to have these kind of mudslides. But we had northern Nevada, due to the rain that came around, we had a number of flash floods in the area. And then you can see on I-80, we had over 8 feet that actually came across I-80. That tractor trailer you see there was actually stuck in there. We had to dig it out. Fortunately, no one was hurt. It was 9 hours closed while we dug out the mud and cleared the roadways on there. So many thanks again to District 2 on this case, but all of our maintenance workers out there. And then one last item is we have a retirement, and Joel Reed is in the audience here. So I'm going to ask everyone here in the front office to get up for a photo for just a minute. Joel started with NDOT in May 2000 as a highway maintenance worker in northwestern Nevada. He moved to the highway construction as an engineering technician, and then worked through the construction technical series to become a supervisor 3 assistant resident engineer. He was an important part of projects such as the construction of I-580 between South Reno and Washoe Valley, open to traffic in 2012, and our current widening of US 395 in North valleys. We'll miss his work ethic and leadership, and he's taking a great deal of construction knowledge with him. But congratulations to Joel. And Governor, if we can just take a minute up here, we're just going to get a quick photo. So Joel, please come on up.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Thank you.
I just close these so they're not. It's okay. Yeah.
We're just going to have to get up on the stool.
All right, that should be good. Give me 1 second. Everyone squeezed in. Perfect. We're in. All right, we're gonna do all these 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Nice. So one more. I think the lights are bright enough. Perfect. And one more with a lower nose. 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys.
Sir, that concludes my report.
All right. Do we have any member questions of Director Larkin? All right, hearing none. Before we move on, Joel, I don't know if you're still in the room, but congratulations on your retirement and thank you for everything you do. I appreciate that on behalf of the state of Nevada. All right.
He was
we'll
in
move
the room and he did hear you.
on. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, consideration of approval of the August 14th, 2025 Nevada Department of Transportation Board of Directors meeting minutes for possible actions. Do we have any questions or concerns? If not, I will entertain a motion for approval.
Governor, I wasn't at the last meeting. I need to abstain.
Member Valentine, I'll move for approval.
Andy Matthews, I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? Nay. Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. And did the clerk here, member Calb, say he was abstaining from the vote?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
There are no items, sir. We can move on to item 5.
All right, thank you. Yes, you are correct. We'll move on to item 5, which is SUR 25-04, disposal of NDOT property and improved parcel with 4 buildings, church, administrative, education building, maintenance building, single-family residence located at the southwest corner of West Charleston Boulevard and Martin Luther King Boulevard for possible action. Ms. Larkin?
Sir, this is the disposal of the Presbyterian Church parcel. A portion of it, we had bought this parcel as part of the Neon project several years ago. The church had stayed in place and had leased it back for several years, and now they have moved out. They built a new church, have moved out, and we are looking to dispose of this. What we are asking for approval is the approval to move forward with the disposal of the property.
Okay, do we have any member questions on agenda item number 5? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
We move ahead with disposal of the property.
All right, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Andy Matthews, I'll second it.
All right, we have a second. We have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against, nay? Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, agenda item number 6, consideration of approval of legislative approval fiscal year 2026 vehicle replacement and procurement of vehicles and non-vehicle replacement equipment in accordance with NRS 408.389 for possible action. Ms. Larkin.
The Assistant Director, Jay Pullen, will be presenting this.
Good morning, Governor. Good morning, Governor and board members. My name is Jay Pullen, NDOT Assistant Director of Operations. With me today is Wayne Miller, the NDOT Equipment Superintendent, and he is available to address any specific questions from the board.
Do we have any questions? And item number 6, can we, Jay, can you walk us through the total amount so we can have a comprehensive motion?
We have a presentation for you, sir. He just hasn't started it yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was looking down.
Thank you, Governor. So under NRS 408.398, the department shall not purchase any equipment which exceeds $50,000 unless the purchase is first approved by the board of directors. In this presentation, I will briefly highlight the vehicle classes specific to today's request, NDOT's performance measure number 9, recommended fleet replacement for fiscal year 2026, and conclude with the non-vehicle replacement request. The recommendations today are for equipment replacement only. There are no new equipment requests at this time. The workhorse of the fleet is the Class 11 vehicle. It consists of utility, garbage, aerial lift, crane, flat rack, and mechanical service trucks. The Class 13 dump truck is our snow plows, which is very critical during winter operations. The Class 24 are sweepers used for our environmental efforts. Street sweepers effectively remove debris, trash, and pollutants from road surfaces, preventing them from entering the storm drains. And lastly, the Class 35, specifically loaders used for our winter operations. NevadaDOT monitors 16 performance goals. Performance measure number 9 is maintain NDOT fleet. We track the percentage of vehicles meeting the replacement criteria and the percentage of fleet in compliance with that criteria. The mobile fleet replacement criteria are based on 3 factors. The first being age, the second, mileage or engine hours, and the third is the condition. When we prioritize the fleet replacements, we evaluate all the factors, and mostly the units recommended for replacement trigger more than just one of the factors. The table shows the percent of NDOT's fleet eligible for replacement. We will continue to work on reducing that percentage of mobile equipment that is in need of replacement. So for our request today, we start with the Class 13. NDOT has 327 units in the fleet. If you look at the top right image, you're going to see a vehicle that is ready for replacement. And of course, the bottom right image shows a vehicle that is in compliance with the criteria. There are 204 units that meet at least one of the criteria factors for replacement. We are requesting the approval of replacing 13 units. For the Class 24, NDOT has 74 units in the fleet. Again, if you look at the pictures, an example of a sweeper ready for replacement is on the top right, and one that is in compliance is on the bottom right. 56 units meet at least one of the criteria factors for replacement. We are requesting to approve 6 units for replacement. For the Class 11, NDOT has 115 units in the fleet. 22 units meet at least one of the criteria factors for replacement. We are requesting the approval to replace 15 units. And of course, I mentioned we're looking specifically at loaders that we use for snow operations. These loaders have the snow blower attachments to them, and we are requesting for 3 replacements. And for our non-vehicle equipment, the universal machine test, it tests tensile and compression strength for bituminous materials. I had the opportunity to take a look at this unit last Friday, and I can tell you that the stamp on it states February of 1942. So this unit is over 80 years old and is unrepairable, and we are requesting to replace it. So kind of in closing, we're recommending the vehicle replacement of 13 dump trucks, 15 one-ton trucks, 6 street sweepers, and 3 loaders. And of course, that materials piece of equipment. And I would just want to thank you for your time. And we're available for any questions.
All right, do any members have any questions of Mr. Poulin? If not, I'll have somebody take a stab at a motion for approval.
I'll try it. This is Andy Matthews. I will move for approval of the legislature approved fiscal year 2026 vehicle replacement and procurement of vehicles and non-vehicle replacement equipment in accordance with NRS 408.389.
Hey, Tracy, can you ask the DAG if that's sufficient, or do we need a total amount as part of the motion?
I believe that's sufficient.
Okay. All right, we have a motion for approval. Do I have a second?
This is Gary Puri. I'll second.
Thank you, Gary. All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against, nay? Hearing none. Thank you, Mr. Matthews and Perea. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 7. Consideration of approval of the 2026 annual work program and overview of the 25 through 29 statewide transportation improvement program, also known as STIP, for possible action. Ms. Lark.
Governor, Rebecca Capular, our Assistant Director of Planning, and it will be for the approval of the annual work program 26.
Thank you, Director. Good morning. For the record, my name is Rebecca Capular, and I'm the Assistant Director of Planning. With me today is Murph Glover. He's the Assistant Chief over Program Development, and if there's questions at the end, he may assist with some of those. Today, I will be presenting for your consideration NDOT's 2026 Annual Work Program and a brief overview of the federal fiscal year 25 through 29 State Transportation Improvement Program. Each year, NDOT Planning presents to this body the results of an ongoing effort to deliver data-driven, transparent programs of projects. The first year of that program is known as the Annual Work Program, or AWP. The Annual Work Program is comprised of all NDOT-led projects the department intends to initiate in the upcoming federal fiscal year. This program is a result of our long, mid, and short-range prioritization process known as One Nevada. The One Nevada planning process helps the Nevada Department of Transportation meet current and future transportation needs. One Nevada provides a foundation for making more informed, data-driven, transparent, and responsive transportation investment decisions. One Nevada is built around the framework of 6 weighted goal areas that are evaluated against 9 separate criteria and utilizing cost as a factor. I'm hoping you may be familiar with these as we've brought this to the board in the past. In addition to this, these goals and criteria are in alignment with the governor's strategic plan. The Statewide Transportation Improvement Program, known as the STIP, is a portion of the state's work program. The STIP contains all federally funded projects and projects that are determined to be regionally significant within a metropolitan planning organization's boundary. This program of projects satisfies the 23 CFR 408 requirement that all states develop the implementation, performance-based planning, and programming utilizing data-driven efforts and federally approved processes. Development of the work program and annual work program in conjunction with this presentation satisfies the state requirement under NRS 408-280. This year, staff evaluated 106 projects with varying costs from $1.6 million to $525 million. This was done by assigning values to each project based on the 6 goal areas and 9 criteria. That effort is known as prioritization. Following prioritization, a series of coordination meetings were conducted to ensure the program addressed external factors such as project readiness and funding priorities. This effort is referred to as harmonization. This chart demonstrates the harmonized top 25 highest ranked projects during this process. The table above demonstrates the anticipated federal formula funding along with the state highway fund limits that were utilized in developing the harmonized STIP and work program. It's important to note that the figures above only represent state funding for construction. NDOT has developed an approach towards utilizing state funding in future years in anticipation of large capital investments. These figures are utilized to demonstrate to federal highways a fiscally constrained program. NDOT will also be strategically applying for other state funding sources, including Fuel Revenue Index, known as FRI, and AB 595 funding towards Washoe and Clark projects. These sources are not identified above. And I do want to note that the AB 595 was passed in 2007. This bill this bill transfers a portion of Washoe and Clark property tax to be utilized on transportation projects in their respective counties and boundaries. The current transportation bill is funded through September 30th, 2026, and it is utilized as a baseline to project future funding. NDOT is a pass-through agency for certain allocations of federal funding to our metropolitan planning organizations. Surface Transportation Block Grant and Transportation Alternatives Programs are examples of federal pass-through funds that are utilized by the MPOs. Other funding includes Congestive Mitigation and Air Quality Improvement Program, known as CMAQ. These funds are allocated only to Clark and Washoe counties and are allocated on an 80-20 split. The STIP is a 4-year fiscally constrained program of projects required under Title 23 of the United States Code. NDOT adopts a new STIP every other year, and a new STIP was adopted last year by this board for federal fiscal years 25 to federal fiscal year 28. This year, NDOT is adding a federal fiscal year 2029 to the program as an unconstrained informational year only. Adding this year provides additional transparency and allows NDOT and its stakeholders to be more easily transparent and plan for future delivery. This action does not require board approval. The annual work program consists of all NDOT-led projects within the upcoming year of the STIP, as well as any state-funded projects to be initiated in the upcoming year. We are here today to seek approval of the fiscal year 26 annual work program. We respectively request the board's consideration to approve the Nevada Department of Transportation's fiscal year 2026 annual work program, and staff and I are happy to answer any questions that you may have. That concludes my presentation, Governor.
All right, do any members have any questions of Ms. Capular? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval of agenda item number 7.
This is Andy Matthews. I will move for approval of the fiscal year 2026 annual work program.
I have a second.
Valentine, I'll second that motion. I just want to note that all this information is available on the website. When I run into people, one of the common questions I have is, where are all the NDOT projects? Where's, they're trying to match up in their mind their expectations and what the resources are. So I just would note that I think this is NDOT's effort to maximize funds from all sources to put into transportation projects, and that this information is very transparent and is available on the website for people who do have questions. So that was a second, a long second, sorry.
I appreciate the comment. All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I,
Any against, nay? Hearing none, the motion passes. On to agenda item number 8, contracts, agreements, and settlements. Pursuant to NRS 408-131, and this is an informational only item. Director Larkin.
No, it's just for information. Are there any questions on anything I signed?
Do you have any questions of Ms. Larkin? All right, seeing none. We'll close agenda item number 8, move to agenda item number 9, second opportunity public comment. Do we have any public comments there in Carson City?
We do not have any in the north.
Have any public comment here in Las Vegas?
None at this time.
Anybody on the phone?
No.
All right, close second opportunity for public comment, and I shall make a motion for adjournment. Do I have a second?
Andy Matthews, I'll second.
We have a motion for adjournment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I'll
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your help.